Welcome to Ark Survival Ascended Bootcamp, where we will be going over all the how-tos, where-tos, and what you will need to-dos. Today's video is going to be a shorter format on how to tame PTs and Argys on the island. For those looking specifically for the information on how to tame PTs and Argys, can't be asked to watch a 3-hour video, this one's for you. So, starting off with the PTs, lower levels can be tamed with a slingshot. Crossbows and bows are always better, but if all you've got to your name is a slingshot, that'll do for, I'd say, about roughly level 50 and below, level 80 and below. You don't really want to push it any higher than that. So, okay. So let's do a level 50 is about the max you're going to want to use a slingshot on. Now, things you're going to need. Bolas. The only thing you need to tame a PT is a bola. Now, PTs do take headshot damage, so you want to aim right at the tip of that headpiece right there to get all that headshot damage. Sometimes ammunition doesn't like to reload. You just gotta put it away and bring it back out. Like putting it away, bring it back out, and that'll reload your ammunition. If you ever get a glitch like that, just put it away, bring it right back out. It'll reload for you. Basically resets it. Alright, so the level 50's knocked out. Now if you want to use a bow, bows are way better. Now with a bow, you can go all the way up to 150. Pretty easily. I'm going to try to get away because whenever a wild dino has a mate boost, they're actually going to take less damage. Even wild dinos get mate boost. So, let's see here. Yep, right there. This one's already flying. You have to be, it's so hard to hit a bola on a flying PT, honestly. Alright, that was pretty sick. Not cool that it landed all the way up there, but whatever. 1, 2... 3, missed again, 4. I'm really trying to make sure I get headshots. You really don't want to get a body shot, it's a waste of an arrow. Alright, look at that, 5 arrows, boom, PT's down. Crossbows, even better. Should take about 3, I believe. Crossbows are my personal favorite for small tames like this. Boom, 3 and it's done. Now, what you're going to want to feed them. Raw meat, prime meat, and mutton. If you can't find a sheep, you can get prime meat from sauropods. I'm going to teach you guys these things. You'll get the hang of it. Big dinos equals prime meat possibility. Small dinos equals just regular meat. And mutton, which is a sheep, is going to be your best bet. Now, when it comes to a 150 PT, PTs do like to wake up relatively quickly. So if you're just feeding the PT raw meat, you're going to want to have some narco berries on hand because the PT is going to wake up before it eats all that raw meat. If you've got mutton or prime, you should be alright, but it's always a good idea to keep your tracking list up. Make sure you're monitoring that unconsciousness to taming ratio. And a good thing to do, just out of force of habit, is to not feed the PT until it's actually lost a little bit of food. No point in feeding any of these PTs right now. Lots of things can happen. If you're in a PvP server, they can just get killed. People can steal the food out of their inventory, actually. A wild dino can just run up and kill it. So we're just going to wait. We'll feed them eventually and they'll tame. But I'm not going to bore you with all of that. You've got the basics of it. Obviously, if you use a trank gun, it's going to be even better than a crossbow. Kind of unnecessary for such a small tame like a PT, but if that's what you want to use, and more power to you. Just get those headshots. Alright, I'm going to teleport over to the Argy taming stage, where I will show Argy taming. Peace. Alright, moving on to the Argy portion of this taming video. They're going to be a little bit different. You can't bola an Argy. If you have a net gun, you're still going to want to set it up in a trap. Alright, the best way to do is just to set up in a trap. And what you're going to need for this trap is very simple. You're going to need 1 foundation, 1 double door frame, 3 regular door frames, a door, and a ceiling. So you can tame them free range if you just want to knock it out, feed it over time, but there is a way to instant tame Argys, and I'm going to be teaching you that instant tame. So first, you need to identify your Argy. I'm going to be spawning one in, so let's use our imagination. Say the Argy's over there, roughly. I'm going to start farming, make all my structures, start building. Now you always want to face the trap towards where the direction the Argy is going to be coming from. I mean, it's easy to lure an Argy to where you need it to go anyways, but this will just make your life a little bit easier. The reason why I use a double door frame here is because if you already have a PT, I usually tame a PT before an Argy. The PT can actually fly straight through this, making it a lot easier to lure it in. But yep, there's our trap all set up. So you got 2 door frames, one on each side, a double door frame right here, 1 door frame on top of that, ceiling on top of that, and we're all set to go. Now you're going to want to be careful not to get stuck here, so as long as I stay on the right, I'll be able to climb right up there, no problem. Now you're probably going to want to use a crossbow. A lot of people use tranq rifles, but I like to use a crossbow because I want to do very specific amounts of torpor. And a gun is going to do more torpor than a crossbow. Crossbow will do just fine. Alright. So you lure the Argy into your trap very simply. Now it's stuck. Close the door. Now it's stuck, can't move. You're going to want to have a magnifying glass so that way you can watch its torpor. Now just start hitting it with arrows. Now a misconception about Argys is that because Quetzals and PTs and other flyer types do take headshot damage, Argys do not take headshot damage. You'll do the same amount of damage no matter where you hit them. Hit them in the big toe, side of the wing, right in the beak, doesn't matter. It's always going to do the same amount of damage. There's no headshot multiplier for them. So I'm going to want to shoot into a 150. I'd say anywhere between 20 to something arrows. I mean, use your magnifying glass to check on it. So at 5900 torpor, I'm going to want to get it just to the point where it stops attacking and starts fleeing. So you can do the math if you want. Whatever 70%-ish is of 5900 is where we're headed. Luckily, the magnifying glass gives us a nice bar, so we can pretty much see where we're at. So we're about 60%, I'd say. So we want to get to 70. Now this Argy spawned with probably the lowest health of a 150 Argy I've ever seen. Alright, we're going to stop right there. I probably shot it too much. So you want to be careful to not shoot it too much, because it needs to aggro. I definitely shot it too much. Oh, it just attacked. Alright. So it must be ready to aggro. So what I'm going to do now is kill myself, because I need a dead body. I could get a dinosaur, but the easiest way to do it... Alright, if I were to fight these pack of hyenodons and not die, it'll be dead. Or run away after you kill like one. Now I've got a dead body. Bring her on over to the Argy. And then we just wait. Once the Argy comes off torpor, it's going to re-aggro, and it's going to hit that hyenodon, basically eating it and gaining a buff. And we're going to knock it out as soon as possible, as soon as it gets that buff. It might take a second since that torpor is really high. But trust me, this is much better than just knocking it out and waiting for it to its food to slowly go down. I will skip to the part where the torpor is. Oh, there it goes. I don't have to skip anything. Now it's got the buff. Now I just need to knock it out. There it is. It's knocked out. And if you open its inventory while it's got the buff, there goes all that food. Ready to be tamed. Now, the cool thing about hyenodons is they love to give prime meat. So if you can't find a sheep, hyenodon's good for prime. Sauropods are good for prime, like the Diplodocus and Bronto, Rexes. Carnos have a slight chance, Stegos have a slight chance. Argys themselves actually have a slight chance. But either way, meat or prime meat, doesn't really matter. It'll eat all of it right up and tame. I believe my rates are 3x right now. There we go. Already got a 150 Argy. Now, if you do use a tranq rifle, just be really, really careful. You know, check it pretty much after each shot. Do the math, and get it to about 70% torpor and stop. There we go. Let it de-aggro and all that good stuff. Now, all you have to do is open the door. You don't have to tear your trap down. You can reuse the trap. Lure a new Argy right in there. It's as simple as that. Ready for the next day. Alright, that's all I've got for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.